Mark's with us in Corpus Christi, Texas. Hey, Mark, welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
How are you doing, Dave?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
Yes, sir. So I've kind of found myself in an interesting scenario. I graduated school about a year ago now, and I work offshore on oil tankers, and I'm home for about 2 weeks out of 6. Living with my parents, still making $109, and kind of wondering whether I should look at renting or buying, but I do want to get out of their house soon. But I don't know if I'm going to end up where I am long term, so trying to decide between renting something or buying something I can actually gain equity in.
I wouldn't buy until you know where you're going to be for a while.
Okay.
How old are you?
24.
Okay. I would rent for a while, and let's just see what's going on. And, you know, your best option would be to get something like with 2 or 3 roommates for 2 reasons. One is it lowers your costs substantially, and you're never there, so you're the ideal roommate. Right?
Yeah.
And
because I'm actually home. Out of the 14 days I'm home, I'm only there for about 8. So that's what concerns me about renting is
it's kind of
actually throwing money away because I'm not there, and throwing the money away because I'm not, gaining equity.
Wherever you are. But you're throwing your money away when you're renting anyway, but really what renting is patience, because when you buy something, that it's such a permanent decision that you need to have a situation where you say, I'm going to live in that property for 3 years, or you don't need to buy.
Right.
So, and you're not really there right now. You're making a ton of money. You're a young guy. You're never home. So anything you can do to just have an inexpensive place to camp that's not your parents when you get home for those 2 weeks out of 6, right?
Yep.
And so, again, I think you're the ideal roommate, and so you don't need much of a spot. You don't need to take up much room. And so, like, if, you guys 3 guys rented a 3-bedroom house together, and you took the worst room, and you get the best deal. You don't pay a full third or something, right? And you don't have to worry about splitting food with them, and you don't have to worry about splitting anything with them because you're not there. You're looking for a place to camp a couple of weeks out of 6. And so you just want something where you can have a place outside your parents right now, and a place to hang, when you're in, a place to hang your hat when you're home. There's no shame in staying with your parents right now either for a little while, because you're never there.
Would you consider, I'm in a resort area, would you consider a resort property that would rent it when I wasn't using it, that I could block off the 2 weeks I was home, if that could cover half to 3/4 of the mortgage?
That'd probably be a cool idea. I'd wait a year to do that.
Gotcha.
You're 24, you're making a pile of money. I think a lot of stuff's going to change 12 months from now. I don't think you're going to be doing things exactly the way you're doing them 10 years from today.
Right.
And so buying a resort property is a very permanent decision. And resort properties either go way up in value or way down in value. They don't just kind of hang out in the middle like regular properties do. So it's a higher risk real estate play, but it is a good way to, to handle the rental. You could VRBO it or have a management company rent it on the times that you're not there. That wouldn't be a bad idea at all. But I would just try to find some roommates for a year and just kind of see how things end up before you start writing checks to buy something. How much money have you got saved?
I've got my emergency fund, and then I've got about another 40.
Okay. All right. Have you priced like a little 1-bedroom condo in a resort setting?
The 1-bedroom condos, I'm looking at about $150, and I could have it paid off. And if I put what I have down, I could have it paid off in 9 months.
Yeah. You might want to do that. That'd be okay. That's not the end of the world. Just keep it conservative, and try to buy something with the idea of what that it's going to be easy to resell.
Right, and what concerns me about the resort properties are the $700 to $800, maintenance fees every month in those properties.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, but if you can keep them full enough to offset your cost, and you get the thing completely paid off in a short period of time, it's not that big a deal, So it's up to you. It's up to you. It's not a sin. You're not like being completely financially stupid to wait 1 year to do anything and just pile up a bigger pile of money. Well, if you had $150,000 cash in an account right now just to buy something, what would you buy?
Probably a single-family home.
Then that's what we need to talk about instead of the resort.
Yeah.
And talk about having a management company run a VRBO on it for you.
Right.
Or you put a couple of roommates in it, buy you a 3-bedroom house and put a couple of roommates in it. You make money off of them, you know, as the owner of it. Let's talk about doing that. And then when you're, you know, they're watching the property while you're not there because you're out of town. They're watching your stuff. You know, there's no boarded up house half the time kind of thing. And then you, that's not a bad play. But again, when you buy something like this in your situation, the house needs to be boring. Easily sold because there's a lot of houses like it. You know? So think about, I'm 26 and I don't want to get stuck with this house because I made a decision when I was 24. And it's a weird house or something. So, yeah, a little 3-bedroom and put a couple of renters in, a couple of roommates in there that pay a lot of money to you and, you know, you pay that off in 9 months. That doesn't scare me. If you want to go ahead and do that, that's fine. But do it boring. Do it boring. You're doing good, man. You're making a lot of money. Congratulations. Very well, very cool.